We call him Big Sleeve 77. I mean, them guys did a great job. You talking about 91 coming here with the build up of, being a dominant player, which he has shown on the film. And I thought for the most part, our guys did a great job of holding their own one-on-one. I thought Scott did a great job of trusting the pocket. He sat in there, was able to make progression reads. So I thought that was really impressive, especially for a freshman, first time playing. Shoot, hats off to that kid.
Made it easier on you too.
Heck yeah, because it allowed us to get the backs out. We probably caught more swing routes today. We didn't get a lot of yards out of it, but we caught more swing. We probably had all that season.
You walk away with a smile on your face the way you guys were establishing the run game today, don't you?
How many times you rush for, I don't know what the final stats, over 200 yards in the SEC teams, the teams that built to stop the run, because that's what they do in that league. Play great defense, stop the run, play for field goals. Well, I thought we did a great job establishing line of scrimmage. Running for the way we ran versus that team, I take my hat, because they was big, they were stout. Those ends are pretty good, and they had good depth behind them. I thought we imposed our will, as far as running the ball and setting the tone.
Coach, all spring and summer we talked about the depth and guys pushing each other. Did you see a little bit of that today with pushing each other? I mean, Russell said if Justin made a big play, he wanted to go out and make a big play and vice versa.
And that's the good competitive nature, when you're talking about, balancing the room and having a brotherhood where there's no envy and no jealousy. Man, that's what you want. And it's a good thing because it's pushing each other. Hey, I want to outdo you because what you did. And I encourage that because that makes our whole room better. Hey, I'm going to one-up you. If I keep one-up you, well, hell, at some point we're going to have a good play come out. Where it's a long run here, touchdown here. I like the way we scored touchdowns. I thought it was an opportunity. We left a few out there with field goals. So that's something we'll stress as a coaching staff. We got to come away with more touchdowns instead of field goals. But it's good to get those points, period.
How do you feel Justin did in his debut? I'm sure you've answered that.
I thought he did well. Like I said before, I thought he really trusted the system. With a kid who's dynamic, who can make these type of moves, and I thought he played within the system. He didn't get out of the framework. He did a great job of pressing it from what I can see. We'll go back and watch the film thoroughly, but I thought he did a great job running behind his pass. I mean, the thing you always know, those kids can make plays in space, but to see them run behind their pads and become, help the O-line establish a line of scrimmage and let them guys build confidence, and then it continue to open up the pass game, We said it early, everybody talking about our room being the weakest link, and our guys thrive on that chip. Okay, we're gonna show you who the weakest link. Before this season, they're gonna talk about this running back room again. So it's kind of good to have some just to motivate those guys.
You talked about Russell, looking different, playing different. He looked really good today. How do you come away from that?
He's motivated. I mean, he's back to being Russ. I told him when he's focused and he's not worried about trying to please this person and just taking care of Russ, he's as good as anybody out there. And I stand by that. I put him in any situation. I take him just about over any back out there and say, hey, for this one play, I'll take my guy. And he's starting to build on where he was 2 years ago. He was focused. He was hungry. He came in and had something to prove. And that's the Russ we got right now. And my job is to make sure we get that out of him another 11 games, and we'll worry about the postseason after that.
That touchdown he had was a delayed draw, wasn't it?
It was pretty impressive. I told him, I said, I could tell you won it because you tried to push Matty right out your way. I said, I like that. You look like you want to do so.
McCoy doesn't even really play out there today, and you still have Shell and Crawford have good performances. How good does that make you feel about the run game heading into the rest of the season?
Well, it just let me know that we heading in the right direction in the room. I like to get Crawford in there more, which that'll happen. And again, I told him now, and I told him going into this season, and the great thing I had Wendell back for this game to understand, hey, he was in that same situation. He was here for 3 years now, he's gone. Be patient, your opportunities are going to come. When they come, you got to take advantage of them. So he's in a good place. He understands where he's at, and his number going to come. His number going to come. He's going to have to. Russell cramped up, well, he got to be the next guy to go. And we was trying to ease him back in, outcome come different. We get that onside kick, so we'll change some stuff a little bit.
How much two-back did you use today? It looked like
quite a bit. The thing was to go early with establish, Crawford and Russell, and then start easing Kennedy, and that'd be that number 2 guy. Which really, because that says a lot of stuff we can do more with Kennedy there than we can with those two. But the flow of the game just kept feeding off those two and just kept going with it.